So chat, we got an update on the what's his face from the Philippines. Freaking Vitaly. We got an update on Vitaly situation. Let's go take a look and see what's been happening. I'd be curious.
This scumbag IRL streamer just got humbled by the Filipino prison system. The dude essentially went from begging to get put into prison to begging to get released in the span of a few months.
And I'm not going to say, oh, don't arrest me. Here's the money. I will go to jail. I'm a proud man. I love jail.
Honestly, it's just sad at this point. I feel like everyone with a working brain knows to not to fly to the Philippines and live stream themselves committing a bunch of crimes, but I guess for Vitaly, he had to learn the hard way. Because let's be real, if you did this in the Western world, you would get a slap on the wrist and be out on bail now until you inevitably had to pay some sort of fine or serve a couple months in
He sure really does love jail a lot, you know?
jail. A little bit of community service maybe, but that's about it. But clearly, acting like this in the Philippines gives you a whole different set of results. If you don't know, Vitaly is a Russian-American YouTuber and creator who was once one of the largest channels on YouTube and was also one of the pioneers of pranks on the internet. Fast forward a few decades, and I guess his extreme poor decision-making has just slowly destroyed his life throughout the years. Because he's landed in plenty of legal situations, and now he's probably in the worst position he's ever been in because he thought it was a great idea to fly to the Philippines, steal a mall security guard motorcycle, steal a bunch of people's hats, take an industrial fan, an LED mask, and then harass a bunch of people, threaten to rob a woman, and the list just goes on. All while he was live streaming everything, so the police could just simply watch the footage and go, yeah, no, we're gonna arrest this guy. Just like half the people we cover, he is the star witness against himself. So obviously, things are going terrible for the scumbag influencer who is currently stuck in Filipino jail, facing
happening?
potentially decades in prison all because of his own terrible actions. With one of the recent updates being that Vitaly was just transferred to jail in the Philippines, meaning he is no longer in the hands of the immigration center and is now definitely facing real prison time. So as you can imagine, this is a pretty big update to the
Really? Really? Oh my god. Interesting.
Vitaly saga, the streamer who saw the Philippines as his own personal GTA IRL server. And also what's crazy is, like, even if you're new to the story, you can imagine how this turned out, because from the images released of him recently, you can see that this situation has definitely taken a toll.
Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Wow, dude. He looks completely different. Holy shit.
On it. So now he's in the custody of the BJMP. BJMP stands for the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. This is the government agency of the Philippines that's responsible for supervising city, district, and municipal jails. So in this case, their main job is placement and handling of Vitaly until he's fully charged. So clearly, Vitaly might be figuring out what the hell is what am I yapping about? Vitaly is living out what might be the biggest find out moment ever seen on the internet. Because I mean, with all this going on with these IRL streamers, I'm starting to think it's like some new meta that
Oh, you remember the film The Midnight Express? They used to teach that in school to teach kids not to misbehave in other countries. They should bring it back.
I don't think I know about the Midnight Express, to be honest. True, he's not juicing himself up. I'm wondering if that actually makes him a little bit more self-conscious, or like has more of a conscious now about, like, you know, the things that he did, that he fucked up and everything like that.
I haven't even heard about, nor do I even understand, where we have both Vitaly and Johnny fighting for the title of whoever can spend the most time in a foreign prison. And I guess they're just doing this out of the love of the game of being locked up and for, you know, a little bit of online attention. It's kind of crazy to think like another human being can actually relate to his situation. But going back through the timeline,
to be honest, was he ever an alpha? Let's be honest here. We all know for a fact he was definitely not an alpha male. He may have the muscles, but he's definitely not an alpha male.
as of June 16th, we've hit this turning point where his transfer away from the immigration detention center to the new jail. And if you recall my previous coverage, the immigration detention center Vitaly was in wasn't exactly the Ritz-Carlton. Apparently, the place that he's in is known as the Gulag.
Now they call it...
Oh yeah, he's in the Gulag. Chat, they sent him into the Gulag.
at the Gulag, an immigration detention center in the Philippines that has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Detainees claim the center is squalid, rat-infested, and overcrowded.
Right. Here's some more recent footage.
He's currently locked up in Camp Bagong Diwa, which isn't exactly a wellness retreat.
I can't even begin to imagine how awful that place is. I don't think rodents ever want to be there. I mean, well, actually, they're probably attracted to that area. But still, no human being would ever want to be there. And that's just the immigration detention center. So what are the jails like? Well, Vitaly's about to experience conditions that make his time in the immigration detention center look like a hotel stay. The Philippines jails, especially places like Manila City Jail and Quezon City Jail, are packed way beyond capacity. The Manila City jail dorms are designed for 170 people, but house around 500. And to put that in perspective, it's the same thing as having a 4-seater car, but cramming 12 people in it, which is just absolutely
The Midnight
outrageous.
Express was about an American tried to smuggle drugs into Turkey. The author recounts how from a light prison sentence ends up to a long life imprisonment. The dude had to escape and walk to Greece in order to escape that ordeal. At one point this story damaged American relations with Turkey because of the so-called mistreatment of human rights, especially towards an American, but the real point was it serves a huge warning to misbehaving foreigners.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, so yeah.
75% of inmates in this
never
jail
heard
are
of it.
pretrial
Not at
detainees,
all.
so Vitaly could be stuck in this hell for months, maybe even years, without a formal conviction. And to make things worse, the average pretrial detention for the Philippines is 9 months, but the backlog here could push this back even further. Oh, and don't forget, he could be facing up to 24 years in prison, meaning he's still got to do the actual time once he's through this process. And that's where things get pretty dark, because Vitaly is now exposed to the same brutal conditions responsible for thousands of inmate deaths per year. This isn't just like some symbolic move anymore.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
This is the Filipino government saying they're not going to tolerate this kind of behavior ever, no matter who you are, which is just another massive reason to say, why would you ever go to the Philippines to make this kind of content ever? They're essentially staying firm and making sure that Vitaly doesn't get to wiggle out of this with some legal loophole or public apology attempt or influencer sob story. We've seen his legal team ask for temporary release, promising that he wouldn't leave the national capital region, and they also made promises that Vitaly wouldn't dodge deportation. Essentially, they were like, we promise Vitaly won't commit another federal crime. And it seems like the Bureau of Immigration saw right through that, with the Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Villado making a crystal clear statement saying that we will not allow our deportation process to be undermined by publicity tactics or legal maneuverings, which I guess is just like a fancy way of saying, nice try, dude, like you're staying right where we can see you. I mean, the dude let some awful decisions take him from this like cushy millionaire lifestyle to a literal nightmare. And Villado also said, as we continue to support the Marcos administration's push to a stronger border security and law enforcement, the Bureau will ensure that foreign violators are held accountable, processed swiftly, and removed from the country as warranted. Which essentially means that, hey, you have to go through all the criminal proceedings, serve your time, pay your fines, then we'll get you out of the country. So I guess.
Damn, dude. So you're telling me, are you telling me, so if he does get convicted or so, that he's gonna stay there, he's gonna stay in the Philippines for 25 years? And then they're gonna send his ass back? Holy cow, dude. So if he gets, let's say he got convicted right now, right? We wouldn't see Vitaly until 2055. No, 2050. Yeah, 2050. We would not see Vitaly until 2050. That's wild to hear that, actually. That's crazy. I hope so too. I hope he gets used to that weather. True. Yeah, it makes sense. I've heard a lot of things also from the comment sections from time to time about the Philippines. My Filipino audiences, or also known as my Pipino audiences.
Yes, now he gets to do this perp walk like that basically everywhere he goes instead of just for the media. And to make things worse, it broke pretty recently that Vitaly actually did post bail, but was returned to BI Warden's facility camp in Bagong Diwa. So essentially, the dude got spawn camped. He got out, he had that moment of hope, and then he was immediately rearrested. And
What?
Villado also talked about this, saying that even if Vitaly files for bail, he will still be under custody of BI. So he's pretty much screwed no matter what. And again, this is all because he flew across the world to the Philippines, a country known for taking its laws extremely seriously, and he decided to live stream himself stealing a security guard's motorcycle, swiping police hats, jacking an industrial fan, threatening an elder woman, and then harassing the public for hours, all to farm viewers on Kick. It's just like, yeah, obviously, like, you can feel bad for him, but also when you look at what he did, it's just...
No, I don't feel bad for him. It's called, you know, having consequences for your own actions, you know? I'm just saying. Your actions have consequences at the end of the day. What do you expect?
It's so stupid, and he was so brazen about it that it's like, how did you not realize this was going to happen?
Yeah, excuse me, madam.
Imagine.
Madam, I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay. No. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal. Go get your vaccine. I was trying to give you money, but all right. Oh, yes.
Oh, geez, that clip, I swear.
And for what? For some viewers on Kick? Like, this dude essentially speed ran, destroying his life for 20 years, essentially, for little to no upside. Like, maybe he made like 10 grand off of that stream. But come on, that is absolutely not worth it. And then, of course, when he first got arrested, what did he do? He started mocking the system. He dared them to lock him up.
Here's the money. I will go to jail. I'm a proud man. I love jail.
When they brought him in for the mugshots, he was smiling. When they tried to book him, he was making kissing faces at the police cameraman. He was just acting so incredibly arrogant, which is why I think they're throwing the book even harder at him right now. And normally in cases like this, you might expect some sort of quick deportation, send the guy home, get him out of the country. But no, the Philippine government made it very clear they wanted him to answer for his crimes first. And this is even though his legal team tried to say, please guys, we promise he won't be a bad boy and run. But let's be honest, the dude literally spent the whole day taunting the police on camera, so... And sure, while that might be the case, I can see why the Filipino government doesn't want to give him any leeway. Unfortunately for him, that ship sailed before it even left the dock, and this transfer to the BJMP custody, it signals that the government's patience is now gone. So he now gets to wear this lovely merch, I guess.
Damn, dude. What does it say? Does it say, what is it? Changing something lovers? Building something. I'm not too sure what that is. It says changing. I know it says changing something. Changing love, I think. Changing lovers. Changing levers. I think that's an L. I think that might be OVES. Changing loves. I think that might be building, maybe? Building a after will? I can't tell what it is, to be honest. I'm trying to take a look at what his shirt says. Kind of hard to read.
What does it even say on that shirt? Changing lives. I mean, you can say that, I guess.
Says lives? Really? Hey.
Wait, what's the full thing? What does it originally say? It says changing lives, building a safer nation. Oh boy. The streets of the Philippines are now safer without Vitaly roaming around, I guess. What did he do to himself? So I guess they have Vitaly locked up with that, a free national mascot. And obviously, just by looking at the photos of him, you can see how much he's changed. Clearly, they're not playing the PR game anymore. No more comfy detention centers. Now he's just living his life in general population jail. And the guy's gonna stay there until he's finished with his court proceedings. And speaking of the courts, as I mentioned in my earlier videos, the Filipino legal system, again, is extremely backlogged. So this is going to take months, maybe even years. We're not talking about a quick resolution here. He could be sitting in that cell for way too long. And the charges he's currently facing is theft, unjust vexation, which is basically the legal term for being an annoying dude. And the rest of his life is literally just hinging on the fact if they decide to charge him for stealing that motorcycle. Because in the Philippines, stealing a motorcycle is an automatic 20-year prison sentence. And this guy live streamed himself doing that. When I talked to a Filipino lawyer, he said, to do that, you would have to prove that he had intent to gain. And the lawyer would then say he would argue that the gain from stealing that motorcycle would be for his audience on his stream.
It's very interesting how that's a Guess I'll allow it. We'll see what happens. Okay, there you go.
So again, his life is literally hinging on the fact if they decide to charge him for that motorcycle theft or not, which is not a position I would ever want to be in my life. Because the sad reality here is Vitaly made his own bed, and not only did he make it, he probably ironed it, fluffed it with all the pillows and everything. I mean, this thing is it's pretty set up, to put it lightly. And I know he used to scream, "It's just a prank, bro," but that won't fly now. And to make things worse, though, apparently his mom got scammed for trying to pay for his legal fees. So according to his
Jesus Christ, man. What does that say on the
first, though, apparently his
damn
mom got scammed for trying to pay for his legal fees. So according to his mom, she sent crypto to someone claiming to be his lawyer because nothing says legitimate legal transaction like sending crypto to a random wallet address.
Well, that's #1 issue right there.
And it's just sad because like she's in that generation of people that fall for stupid stuff like that. I feel awful for Vitaly's family as it's unfair to them that he put them in this situation to begin with. So what's the overall takeaway here? Well, if you're a creator thinking of pulling this kind of stunt overseas, don't. The idea that you can just roll into someone else's country, disrespect the people, break its laws, and walk away because you're just making content.
Or you're an American. You know, that's usually another thing they like to say, you know. You can't arrest me, I'm American.
Clearly, that doesn't fly. And let's be real, the kick deal probably paid a lot of money alongside of subs, donations, and hype. But was it really worth the potentially facing years behind bars in conditions no man or rodent would ever want to be in? And then, of course, she still has a live stream catalog of evidence to increase that time further. I hope nobody out here would ever want to put themselves in a position like that, because overall, this is just extremely avoidable. But I mean, hey, at least he didn't live stream himself robbing someone while in Texas like this streamer did, because this is also just an absolute insane story that I would recommend checking.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, Vitaly ain't looking so good, to be honest, chat. This man is not looking very good.
Now gets to wear this lovely merch, I guess.
Jeez, man. Damn, look at him, chat. Look at him. God Lord. It was worth the trouble. Look at all of the content we have thanks to Vitaly. True. You can't arrest me. I'm a voidling. That's crazy. Damn, look at him. Look how much he's changed though. Wait, what is that? What is that around his wrist? Is that like a Oh, those are handcuffs. Yeah, those are handcuffs. Yeah, you can see 2 police officers in the back. Damn, dude, he definitely ain't looking so good, you know? Yeah, this is what happens. No, I think it's handcuffs. I think that's what it is, to be honest. It's definitely handcuffs. Damn, that's crazy, though. That's crazy. I wasn't really expecting for an update on this guy, to be honest. I'm just surprised that the Philippine government do something about this. Probably publicity stunt, to be honest. What happens to his partner in crime, though? That's true, actually. I don't even know what happened to his partner in crime. Didn't they got the guy that was actually filming him? Question mark? I thought they got him. But I'm not too sure if they did got him or not, so don't really have too much information on the whole entire itself because he's not really. I don't think he searched up about it, or unless there's no like new development on it in general. Yeah, his cameraman. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. So. Probably. I know we talked about it last time, but that was like many months ago, so. Not bad. Not bad at all. Well, we'll see what happens in the next coming months, unless there's some new development that comes out in the next couple of weeks in general. Vitaly also got a Filipino accomplice as well. Really? I did not know about that actually. Oh wait, I think I know which one it is. Isn't it that one girl or so that said like he was like mentally ill or something, or like he's something, I don't know, something like that. I remember this like one girl was trying to explain and trying to defend him to like a police officer or something like that. I don't know. It was something like that in general. Yeah. I remember. Well, anyways, that's the end of the video. And well, sucks to be you, man. I'll be honest with you. Sucks to be you. I don't feel sorry whatsoever. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.